An intellectually disabled guy named Yonggu has the intelligence of a 6-year-old, which is the same age as his own daughter Yesung. When the police commissioner's daughter is involved in an accident, he is accused of sexual assault and imprisoned for a crime he did not commit and punished for death penalty. Fortunately, Yonggu is able to see her daughter perform in the Dakers Institution show for inmates. However, she is found a few minutes later and is taken back into custody. The inmates help Yonggu so that he could win the case in the court, but the police commissioner calls him on the day of his trial, then beats him up and threatens to kill his daughter if he is declared innocent. After that, Yonggu lied that he murdered the daughter of the police commissioner. He is eventually sentenced to death. Finally, it was December 23rd, the date of Yonggu's electrocution and the birthday of her daughter Yesung. Unfortunately, Yonggu was falsely charged and exiled to death. Jin Young, the chief, adopted Yonggu's daughter, and Yusung grew up. Then Yusung is attempting to clear her father of the false accusation labeled against him. He went on to become a judicial apprentice and represented his father in court. Finally, her father, Yonggu, has found not guilty. Based on the rubrics provided, I can say that the film Miracle in Cell Number 7 is extraordinary, which is why I gave it a 9.43 out of 10 rating. The plot of the film is enjoyable. The film's climax and conclusion were surprising and heartbreaking. The major and supporting actors acted with conviction and emotion in their words. The film was able to convey to the audience the characters' emotions of grief and sadness. The background music also contributed to the scene's emotional impact. The script was able to convey the movie's message while also allowing the audience to comprehend the events of the movie. The movie only took place in a few settings or locations, but they were all fitting for the film's concept. In the end, the film was able to educate the audience a profound and significant lesson. I am giving the movie Miracle in Cell Number 7 a 9.43 out of 10 rating. This is because the movie is almost perfect itself. The movie's genre is a combination of comedy and drama, which is surely a good combination since it contributes for the stability of the movie where you can laugh and cry at the same time. The movie is not solely depressing but is also amusing. The plot of the movie is well sequenced and planned by the writers. Furthermore, I was not immediately drawn to the film at the start, but as the story unfolds, the scene became more intriguing. The plot spacing from exposition to climax and denouement was done properly by the event's momentum. The film also showcased an unexpected plot twist. I was expecting Yonggu, the main character, would get the justice he deserved, but instead, he unexpectedly took responsibility for the crime he did not commit just to protect his daughter from the commissioner who threatened him if he was found not guilty. In addition, the movie scenes were logically sequenced and the plot was simple to follow, making the storyline understandable and not confusing. Overall, the film's plot was peculiar, unexpected, and exceptional, proving that the writers made a fantastic storyline. The film's actor and actress were top-notch in terms of acting. The main protagonist, Yonggu or Seong Reum-ru in real life, and Yoo-sung or Song Woon-gar, as well as the supporting cast, performed admirably. I was astonished by Song Reum-ru's acting skills for the reason that he was able to act as if he is a truly intellectually incapacitated person. The same goes to Song Woon-gar, where despite being a kid, she was able to act skillfully. The actors and actresses were inarguably suited for the characters they convey, since they were able to state their lines with emotion and conviction. The actors were a perfect fit for the role as if they shared the same characteristics in real life. And for this reason, they made the lines they speak convicting to the viewers, especially in my perspective. The producers indeed choose great actors and actresses for casting the movie, which is why I rate them a 10 out of 10 for the actors' acting skills. Likewise, I give the film a 10 out of 10 rating in terms of emotional impact, background music, and script. The actual delivery of the script had a significant impact on the emotional appeal of the film. This, I could say that the script was written by great writers because of how emotional and funny the dialogues are depending on the situation. The script uplifted the actors' emotion as they spoke them, and the background music was able to depict the emotion of the situation, giving more mood and feeling. The actors acted effectively in accordance with the script, making the movie full of emotions. The day of Yongu's electrocution is one of the scenes that evoke heavy emotions. The situation is more heartbreaking because it is also his daughter's birthday. The moment was tragic and was paired with a sorrowful background music, making the mood melancholy. I felt the emotions of the characters in the film. It was intense, it made me cry and laugh at the same time. Nonetheless, despite the fact that the plot, acting, emotional impact, background music, and script were all excellent, the film's cinematography, editing, and setting were somewhat lacking. Since the film was released about 7 years ago, I can honestly say that the film's cinematography and editing, particularly color grading, are obsolete or outdated. Even for this reason, I can't deny that despite this minor flaw, the film's overall quality was not affected because the film's resolution and sequence editing were of high quality. I also noticed that the movie revolved in a few number of places or settings, majority of which is in the prison headquarters and cells. Despite of this, the settings were connected and reasonable in the film's theme. For this reason, I would give the cinematography and editing an 8 out of 10 rating because it is somehow behind in the quality of the films in the present. Setting-wise, I rate it 8 out of 10 because the setting was indeed reasonable, but I was anticipating a more specific place where Yongu was executed because it was not specified in the film, which can be a little confusing, and I was also expecting a setting that could give an impression of sadness and sorrow. But still, the setting of the film were good. In addition, I noticed some questionable situations in the film. I don't know the specific reason why an intellectually disabled man was able to have a biological daughter. The fact that he had the intelligence of a 6-year-old made me wonder on how he was capable for a sexual activity. Also, making a hot air balloon inside the prison headquarters was also questionable because the policemen were not strict about the prison making it, which was not realistic and is impossible if done in reality. Nevertheless, the film was wonderful and has a lot of stories and lessons to tell, the reason why I gave it a 9.43 out of 10 rating. Therefore, right after I watched the film, I can definitely recommend it to other people who prefers a movie that will make them cry and be emotional. If you're finding a movie about life's injustices and a movie that will make you laugh at the same time, then the film A Miracle in Cell Number 7 is the perfect movie for you to watch. The movie speaks a lot of lessons that can be applied in both life and politics. One of the movie's lessons is that a father's love is unconditional, and a father would do anything, even admitting a crime that he did not commit just to protect her daughter. The movie also tells a lesson that in this world there is inequality, and there are those in poverty that does not get the justice they deserve. People in politics has the power and the privilege, and they are the ones who mostly oppresses the poor. One of the most important lessons of the movie is that the film itself is an eye-opener to everybody, but legalizing death penalty is still debatable. It also tells us that if you are poor, the likelier you are to encounter injustice. The movie elaborates that death penalty is anti-poor. It also educates us to understand people with intellectual incapacities, because their situation should not be taken advantage, but rather guided, not misled. Thank you, and that's all.